Howdy, my name is Alexis Broussard, and I'm a team member of the Merlin Lab Monarch Garden Project in Entomology 322, alongside my other teammates Dasha Dale, Alexandra Devaney Loghead, Will Judson, Margaret Knopp, Caitlin Schomburg, and Molly Totten. And our project assignment was to design a full garden booklet for the Merlin Laboratory here at Texas A&M University. An overview of our project with some of our goals and objectives is to collaborate and communicate ideas to lab manager Samantha Lambs. As a group, we decided to divide work among our team members to collaborate and work together on a Google Drive folder for the entire length of the time, since we were not required to meet in person or actually go outside to do a project at one of the local parks. So saying that, our short and medium term goals were to research and design a monarch garden to be approved and installed on the A&M campus, and research and discuss among GroupMe and the Google Drive folder which species of plants and flowers that we think would attract and sustain the migrating monarch butterfly. Our long-term goal is to come up with a garden layout design, including plants researched and approved by our project manager, in the assumed space of a 12 by 12 foot garden space. And in our booklet that we have put together for our long-term goal was the title page, table of contents, an aerial view of the garden layout, and the following pages that would consist of plants that we included in our document research. In our research, it was really important to know the conditions of a garden so that we could fully give Texas A&M a blueprinted understanding and just an idea of how they could build this garden so that both the plants and butterflies would be able to be sustained. It's important for the garden to have well-drained soil for the attracted plants that the monarchs are drawn to, so that these plants could thrive. They should be in a partially sunny area of campus. I read something that said the majority of the plants do better in a sunny environment with a side of shade. So like sunny with a change of equals, sunny with a side of shade. This is because some of the plants grow better in full sun, but a lot of the plants that we found are going to grow their best in partial shade and sunlight. And then the partial shade also provides a refuge for butterflies on hot summer days when they just need to rest and lower their body temperature. It's also important to provide different heights of the plants with flowers that will come from them to draw monarchs' attention. These butterflies like to float among the garden, and so providing various heights will let them go through this. And it's important to keep the garden chemical free, because even herbicides, pesticides, and insecticides will draw the butterflies away, and what we want to do is draw them in and provide them just a safe haven. It is important to keep the area moist, along with maybe incorporating some shallow petals with a drip system, because the butterflies love to obtain water and collect extra minerals through a puddling pool. And the shallow is because they can't fully submerge themselves. So anywhere where they can just, kind of like a little bird bath, just like give themselves some water, that'd be great. It is also important to provide rocks for the cold-blooded butterflies to rest and also obtain heat to recharge. And the foliage and plant shrubbery encourage chrysalis protection in harsher weather. So this is what we came up with as a team for the aerial view of the Monarch campus garden. In the very back left-hand corner, we have our butterfly bush lined with meadow blazing star in front of it. And to the side, we have some yarrow of that. And as you move up further in the garden, we have some zinnia and Brazilian verbena, along with some of the butterfly milkweed in the middle of all of that. And then in the front of the garden, we've placed some lantana and just some more milkweed so that caterpillars have different spots to grow and just the butterflies have different places to just flutter around. And here I'm going to start going over just some of the plants. The first one that we came up with was the common milkweed. And this is super essential because this is where butterflies will lay their egg. And it is one of the few caterpillar food sources. Common milkweed does best in full sunlight, again with that well-drained soil, and very light watering. There is no fertilizers needed with the milkweed. And so we've just provided a couple of different types. Some of these will be taller height, and the blue time will be during the summer months. That will just attract the butterflies. They spread about 2 to 3 feet, and so it provides a lot of coverage for them. And it's important to cut back the entire plant in the spring. Here's our butterfly bush that we talked about. That will be in the top left side of the garden. The cool thing about this is that it blooms all summer until the first frost in the wintertime, and so this provides just a lot of attraction for the butterflies. The height is between 3 to 4 feet or even taller, and then these do best in full sun to partial shade. It requires average water needs and some deheading for optimal blooms. Here's some details of the average of the meadow blazing star. It's really cool because these bloom in the late summer and they grow well in groups. And the cool thing about this is that they are pest and disease resistant. Butterflies, and monarchs in particular, are attracted to lantana. These bloom from the summer through the fall, and they actually prefer the sunnier side of the garden. They are drought tolerant, so they don't need much water. Here's the yarrow that we were talking about. These are very low maintenance, and it's awesome because these are ground cover. They are year-round blooms, and again, drought tolerant, and they will tolerate shade, but these also thrive in the sun. Passion vines are another really cool addition that can add some really cool height to the garden in case you ever would want to just add a little vine to it. These are awesome because the butterflies also love to lay eggs in this along with the milkweed, and this provides a great source of food for caterpillars as well. Zinnia flowers are really good to put into the garden because they just add a food source and just some nectar for the butterflies to feed on. Brazilian verbena is also a plant that we would be able to add into our garden, along with the Siberian wallflower. The butterflies are really attracted to it because of this powerful scent that they bring whenever they bloom. Here's another milkweed, specifically the spider milkweed. This May-night Saldava, it thrives in sunlight, and basic water is needed, not a whole lot, until it is well established. Before it is established, it will need water, but after this, it will need very little maintenance. We also need to look out for Japanese beetles because they consume the plant until the plant starts to skeletonize. Spider mites also become a thing, but it can be easily controlled by releasing just ladybugs. Ladybugs will take care of this problem. So the reason behind all of this research is because our hope is that Texas A&M University will be able to incorporate a safe haven for monarch butterflies on the campus near the biology area by using these blueprints that we've created to plant a special garden for these beautiful creatures. And by doing this, the student body will have more awareness and appreciation for monarchs as they walk past the garden. And a future improvement would be to allow the main contact, so Samantha, the lab manager, more time to do the project. Because of this limitation, she changed our project description from actually making and planting the garden to only being able to just turn in the blueprint of this garden. So thanks for listening, and I hope you all have a great day.